And I remember he was, but yeah.
But so that's how I looked at it at first, right? Because you know why? By virtue of me working with Dan, and my only way of getting a who is Self is by hearing about it through Dan from the internet. I didn't go on myself. So anyway, that one night at the Sound Lab, he was about to shine, and I was good like doing his thing, and I had to go. We were running late. You know, my leather pants were starting to turn to midnight and shit, right? So I've watched that cat grow from being a young kid to just blowing him out the box with freestyles and production. And it's been a massively humbling experience to see that so up close, you know?
Yo, he's such a deep thinker. That's the thing that gets me. And it's like, when, you know, there's one thing that a lot of folks can come off the top of the head. But the thing is, I remember in Trenton, he had seen this kid. I don't know if he was a street dude, this, that, and the other, but I remember he had a black shirt and he had a chain. So the chain stood out. And he, whatever it was, he was real tight. Self went right after him and said his chain was fake. And this, and it was like everybody in the room, because the judges, there were 4 Boom Squad judges. It was Max, Tame, Gruff Rhino, and DJ Porno. Everyone in the room put their hand over their mouth when he said, got that, whatever he said, 2-cent chain or whatever he said. And it was like, oh my God. And the dude, I think he had some gazelles on and the chain. He was like, and when he said whatever he said, the dude was just like, and literally he lost as soon as his face dropped, like, oh shit, this dude really got me. He probably knew he lost right there. And Self just kept going at him. And he really, when it's a battle, I think there's something where he always feels like he's the underdog. And it's like, oh no, I'm gonna come up right now. And like you said, like he just gets better and better. And then when he started making beats, it was like, oh my God, he just knows how to dig in. It's funny because I told him things like, you look for the musicians, like you go for an era, you go for the 70s. You got to be careful when you get records in the 80s when you're digging. He said, fuck all that. I'm just gonna bring my portable and play my record right there. And I was like, well, some places don't let you do that. And he was getting that. I said, I get it. You want to listen to it, but some places won't let you. So you got to learn how to dig. You got to look for, if Joe Zawinul played on Miles Davis' album and it was good, go after Joe Zawinul solo records. If Chick Corea played on Miles' album, go after Chick Corea's solo stuff. But be careful when you get to the 80s because everything was kind of electro.
Yeah.
And I would tell him that, and he'd be like, it was almost like, I don't even have time for that. I'm just gonna pick up the, because he does a lot of these like snapshots with crazy pictures and whatnot. And I ain't gonna like that's another aspect, just the photography and stuff. But he would grab something like that and look for that break. And it's like, never mind him coming off the top rhyming. I'm just looking at his ear for production.
Yeah, man, it's been humbling because, like I said, I was older than him when I met him. I met him in a position where he was listening to my music first, and that's how I met him. And then I watched him grow to the point where I can't do what he does. And that's a humbling experience. And that's not as his friend. That's as like another Jersey artist. You know what I mean? He gets a lot of credit, but he doesn't even get as much credit as he deserves.
Not as he should.
For what he's been able to do over the years.
Govmatic. I was in the gym one time and I was listening to Govmatic's Brick City Legend, I think part 2. And Self is on it. On one of the songs, the Posse Cut. Self is on it. He's the leadoff guy on that song, I might add. I'm like, damn, Self is on the song on Govmatic's album?
But isn't he a son of a bitch? Like, he'll do some real big shit and not say a goddamn thing about it and make you find it on your own, right? And like, I'll find some shit he did and I'll be like, he didn't even mention it. Meanwhile, the second I record anything, I'm like, hey, Self, did you check this out yet? This motherfucker will do some important shit and I'll find it. I'll just find it later. It's happened to me all the time, yo. I'll
tell you what else he does when he puts it out and you say you did that, he'll say, oh, I was the wackest one on there. It's like, what?
Yeah, and he killed it, right? And he killed it.
So self-deprecating. Yo, but it's like, yo, like, you almost want to smack him on the back of the head. Like, will you stop it and give yourself credit? Yo, that dude.
Yeah, meanwhile, he's slapping us in the back of the head, man. This is a real silent slap.
It's like, I almost want to go and just steal a crate of records from him. Like, yo, man, that dude is all right.